Schadenfreude, a love story, is filled with years of anecdotes, self-discovery, and transformation in Germany. And joining us are the author of Schadenfreude, I'm butchering it, Rebecca Schuman, and founder and president of Meet Me St. Louis, Marcia Levy. Welcome, Marcia and Rebecca. So, all right, let's start with Marcia. Tell us about Meet Me St. Louis, this really great organization right here.
Thank you very much. Meet Me St. Louis is a relatively new, just about 2 years old, nonprofit here in St. Louis, obviously. We bring authors and artists to town for people to meet, to talk about their newly released works. And Rebecca is our next author, and we're doing an event with her on Sunday, this Sunday. February 12th at 2 o'clock.
And we are so excited about that because we're going to get into this book in just a second here. But Marcia, how do you identify the artists and authors that you bring in?
We look for different topics that will appeal to a broad range of people. We've done events with Bob Gibson, the Hall of Famer from the Cardinals. Leslie Stahl did a book on grandparenting. We've done programs that are fiction, nonfiction. We have programs coming up later this spring. Bruce Feiler's coming with his book, The First Love Story, about Adam and Eve. We also have a book on the healthcare system. So we try to find different topics for different people and move them around to different venues in the region.
Do these people or topics have connections to St. Louis typically?
Not always.
Not
no.
always. Okay.
We're lucky with this one.
Right. So Rebecca,
Yes.
Transition to you. So you have lived here in St. Louis for about 10 years,
Yeah.
right? But not native.
No.
But native now. Good enough.
Near native, as we
Close
say.
enough, right. Okay, so but it's great that you're right here in St. Louis and you wrote this really funny book.
Thank you.
A little bit about your own experiences in Germany. So tell us about the book and tell us what you're going to be doing Sunday.
Well, the book is a sort of madcap romp through my misadventures in love. Love with a very angst-ridden high school boy who made me fall in love with him, and then through him a bunch of German authors. Then through my love of the German authors, I stumbled and fumbled until I fell in love with the German language. And then through my love of the German language, I stumbled and fumbled until I fell in love with the German people. And then I thought it would be a good idea to get a doctorate in German and become a German professor. And that is where the love story ends. Unfortunately, academia did not love me back. But that's how I became a freelance writer. When I crashed and burned in academia, I actually wrote the story of how I crashed and burned in academia. It was published on Slate, which is a widely read website. That's where I write now. And then I became a professional writer from there. And that's how this book came about.
Okay, so obviously a love of writing and a talent for writing.
Well, I hope so.
From what I've heard, it's a really great book.
Thanks.
Yeah, and this boy that started it all, where's he right now?
I don't know.
No
that would be
idea.
crazy if I knew that. I definitely have not looked him up on the internet, and I definitely don't know anything about what he's doing now.
So no plans to send him a book in the mail?
No.
Okay.
And luckily the lawyer for my publisher and I worked very hard to make sure he wasn't too identifiable, and I have plausible deniability. So if anybody that I used to date comes and says, I don't like my portrayal in the book, I can very convincingly say, that wasn't you.
There you go.
Very vain to think so.
So do you still go back to Germany?
I do, not so much since I had a baby, but as soon as my family is international flight ready, we're going back. My husband speaks German too. We both love visiting Germany, visiting Berlin, other places in German-speaking Europe. I spent a year in Austria. We love Austria. Yeah. So it's really as soon as we're international flight ready, we'll head back over
international flight ready.
We're sort of barely domestic flight ready right now.
I get it. How old is
2.
2-year-old. Yep, I'd say you wait a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. So so Sunday you're going to be at the Urban Chestnut Brewery in the Grove.
Yeah.
Okay, and are you going to be reading from the book?
A little bit, but not from the book. There are some chapters that didn't make it into the book. I wrote a voluminous amount, and the book only had so much room. So there are some secret unreleased chapters, and I'm going to be reading from those.
Oh, that's
They're
fun.
going to be a lot of fun. I'll be talking about the book a lot and telling sort of the longer version of anecdotes that made it in, some anecdotes that were too scandalous even to make it into print. And so I'll be talking, A fair amount at the party, but there's also just going to be a lot of fun at the party. We're doing a little bit of German trivia. I love that one of the best things about St. Louis is that we're a trivia-obsessed town, and ever since I had a baby, I don't get out to trivia anymore, and I've never gotten to be an MC. And so I begged Marcia.
Oh, so Sunday.
I begged Marcia to let me do just a little bit of trivia, and please let me be in charge. And so we're going to do some trivia. There's going to be prizes. There's going to be beer.
Good.
Pretzels.
All right. So Sunday is the Urban Chestnut Brewery. So, okay, very good. Visit meetmestlouis.org to learn more about Schadenfreude's author event this Sunday and other events coming up in the future. And stay with us at STL Live. There's more right after this. Thank you so much, Rebecca and Marcia. It's a pleasure.